Hello friends. Today we are going to continue chapter number 2, Cultural Heritage of India, Handicrafts and Fine Arts, lecture number 14. Friends, in this chapter we are going to discuss about the different arts. In this chapter we started discussing about different types of art that are well known in Indian culture, that gave fame and pride to our country. We discussed from the very beginning when we started talking about the different artisans, about how these arts came into existence. We also discussed that these art are present in the artist. Some of the artists have got these talents from the genes, in which we learn about the genetic heritage. They got this talent, they got this art in their genes, and it is considered as a part of genetic heritage. Means by birth they are having this talent, this skill, and due to which they had the mastery in that particular field. Friends, when we are talking about different arts, there are several arts from our ancient India which evidences have been found, and this proves that these art existed several years ago. Even the people in the ancient time were very much interested in the particular art. We discussed in the clay art that how even the huts for the residence purpose, when the people used to reside in huts, these huts were made with the mixture of clay and cow dung, which were known as cubas. So people were even dependent for residence and for storing utensils. They were dependent on clay. Since ancient times, this clay was in very much use. Then we discussed about different types of art like spinning, weaving. We also discussed about patola of Patan. We discussed about the leather industry. Then we discussed about the diamond and beadwork. We discussed about lots of such kind of arts. This has given fame and pride to our country and has put India into an incomparable position in the world. Friends, several artists have taken birth in our country. We should be proud of that artists that have increased our heritage, and they have gifted us this invaluable heritage, and now it becomes our duty that we preserve this heritage. In the previous lectures, we discussed our very two important arts. One was painting and the other was music. When we discussed about the art of painting, we learned that it is one of the supreme form of art. Even in the ancient time, people were fond of painting. They used the natural color for painting purpose. They used to do these paintings on the walls, on cave. Even they used to do painting in their homes. This showed their interest towards the painting art. And here it is said the evidences of this painting has been found from several places. We learn about the examples of the cave painting of Bhimbetka in Madhya Pradesh, which existed since primitive time. The primitive man used to do such kind of cave painting in which they made the sketches of animals, birds, flowers. We also discussed about the well-known example of Ajanta and Ellora cave paintings, which is very well known all over the world. Friends, we can consider this as an invaluable gift from our ancestors. We also discussed in the previous lecture about Indian music. When we were talking about Indian music, we learned that obviously this art, this form of music, it shows the interest of the people not only in the ancient time but also in the present time. In the present time also, we know that mostly people are fond of music. Music makes you relax, it makes you refresh, it takes off the stress from your life. So, music plays a very important role in human's life. There might be only some people who might be away from the music art. Friends, as we discussed about the Indian music, we talked that this Indian music came into existence and it is a combination of tune, rhythm and harmony. This came, here it is said, the information about this music is informed in Samved, which is one of the four Veds, Rigved, Yajurved, Atharvaved and Samved. In Samved, information is given about this music, about how to chant the richas, that is the mantras, about the gods and goddesses with the tune, rhythm and harmony. Samved is also considered as the Gangotri of music, from which the music originated. Friends, here when we are discussing about the music, we also learn that there are 7 vowels in our Indian music: Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Da and Ni. We also discussed that in India there are 2 types of music: classical music and folk music. Here music involves both playing and singing. If we talk about classical music, here it is said there are 5 rags in classical music: Shri, Deepak, Hindol, Megh and Bhairavi. These are the 5 types of rags that exist in Indian music. Friends, we also discussed that it is believed that these rags, according to mythology, it is believed that these 5 rags came into existence directly from the Panchmukh of Lord Shiva, and it is described in Samved. Friends, we also discussed that there were many scholars in the past who had written several books giving information about music. Among them, Sangeet Makarand, Sangeet Parijat and Sangeet Makarand and Parijat are very famous. So friends, today we are going to discuss about these books that were written on Indian music, the 3 books that were written on Indian music. So the today topic that we are going to cover, that is Sangeet Ratnakar, Sangeet Makarand and Sangeet Parijat. We can say the text on music. Friends, today the topic that we are going to cover, that is the text on music. Here let us start with first Sangeet Ratnakar. Friends, starting with first Sangeet Ratnakar, here it is said, Pandit Sarangdev of Daulatabad Sangeet Ratnakar, here it is said that Pandit Sarangdev of Daulatabad, he has written, Pandit Sarangdev of Daulatabad wrote Sangeet Ratnakar. First, the very basic information that this Sangeet Ratnakar was written by Pandit Sarangdev. Here it is said, he was very familiar with South and North Indian music. Friends, here it is said that he was very familiar with South and North Indian music. Here, when it is said he, that means about Pandit Sarangdev. Pandit Sarangdev was very familiar with both South and North Indian music. Here it is said it was due to his say that Pandit, when it looking at here it is said that looking to the contribution of Pandit Sarangdev, Pandit Vishnu Narayan Bhatkande, Pandit Vishnu Narayan Bhatkande, he considered Sangeet Ratnakar, Pandit Vishnu Narayan Bhatkande considered Sangeet Ratnakar as the most authentic book on Indian music. Friends, here it is said that looking about the writings, about the information on the Indian music, when Pandit Vishnu Narayan Bhatkande, he referred this book, he considered Sangeet Ratnakar as the most authentic book on Indian music. Here it is said that this book was considered as the finest texts for understanding music. Friends, here it is said that this book was considered as the finest book for understanding music. Here it is said that through this point we can understand that how important this information might be about this Indian music. So, if we talk about Sangeet Ratnakar, friends, this question can be asked in your 3 marks in your board exam about the 3 texts written on Indian music: Sangeet Ratnakar, Sangeet Makaran, and Sangeet Parijat. When we are talking about Sangeet Ratnakar, here it is said that Pandit Sarangdev of Daulatabad, they wrote this Sangeet Ratnakar. So here it is said that Pandit Sarangdev was very familiar with North and South Indian music. Pandit Vishnu Narayan Bhatkande considered this Sangeet Ratnakar as the most authentic book on Indian music. This book was considered as the finest text for understanding music. So friend, this was the information about Sangeet Ratnakar. Now let us understand about Sangeet Makaran. Now when we are learning about Sangeet Makaran, here it is said that this Sangeet Makaran was written by a scholar named Narad. That was in the year about 900 BC. Friends, here it is said this text was written by a scholar named Narad in about 900 BC. Friends, here it is said, the information about this text is that this text was written by a scholar named Narad in about 900 BC. Here it is said, in this book, if we talk about this book, in this book, the information about about 19 Venas and 101 rhythms are given, are mentioned, we can say. Friends, in this book, here it is said, the information about 19 Venas and 101 rhythm are mentioned, which we can say, which are useful even today. Which are useful even today. So friends, here you can clearly see that these texts, now we have information about Sangeet Makaran in these 2 points, that this book was written, this text was written by a scholar named Narad in about 900 BC, and in this book the information is given about 19 Venas and 101 types of different rhythms we are mentioned, which are useful even today. So friends, this was the information about Sangeet Ratnakar and Sangeet Makaran. Friends, now after understanding about the 2 books, that is Sangeet Ratnakar and Sangeet Makaran, now moving towards the 3rd book, that is Sangeet Parijat. Here it is said that this text was written by Pandit Ahabole. Friends, here it is said that information about Sangeet Parijat, this text was written by a scholar named Pandit Ahabole. We can say it was written in 1665. It was written in 1665. This text was written in the year 1665, and this gives the information about North Indian music. It gives information about North Indian music. It gives information about North Indian music. This book was written by Pandit Ahabole, written in 1665, and it is considered that it is written about North Indian music. It is considered as an important book for learning Indian music. Friends, here it is said, it is considered as an important book for learning Indian music. And here it is said, Pandit Ahabole pointed each ragas. Here it is said, Pandit Ahabole pointed each ragas here in different forms than the other. Friends, here it is said, Pandit Ahabole pointed each raga in different form than other, and Here, your Pandit Ahabole also informed that each ragas has its own identity and characteristics. Friends, here it is said that each raga has its own identity and characteristics. Friends, this was the information about Sangeet Parijat. Here, the very first information that it was written by Pandit Ahabole. Pandit Ahabole had written these texts in 1665, and this book was written on his giving information about North Indian music. This book gives information about North Indian music. It is considered as an important book for learning Indian music. Here it is also said that Pandit Ahabole pointed each raga in different forms than the other. He also mentioned that each raga has its own identity and its own characteristics. That means that each raga, Shri, Deepak, Hindor, Meg and Bhairavi, each raga has its own identity and it has its own characteristics, and that is why each raga is different from the other ragas. Each and every raga is important at his place. Friends, so here today we learned about the three important books based on this Indian music: Sangeet Ratnakar, Sangeet Makaran and Sangeet Parijat in detail. Friends, now you might have understood about these three important books that was in Indian music. Friends, this can be useful for your board examination, as this is an important question. It can be asked in your 3 marks or 2 marks question. So friends, hope so you might have understood about the three important texts written on Indian music. That was Sangeet Ratnakar, Sangeet Makaran and Sangeet Parijat, written by our Indian scholars to contribute them in Indian music.